It's a very left leaning page for sure.
Surprisingly, yeah, I kind of expected a little bit different.
When I first moved here, I expected like a little bit different, but then like I was like, holy crap! But it's not like that around Temecula though. When you're out and about, like the town is different.
Like you definitely feel like you're in like a cowboy kind of the western.
Old Town, dude. Like Old Town is not a west. West Coast stuff.
Yeah.
West Coast. Well, what Old Town is like very west cowboy, like boot and barn type of shit. There's probably a boot and barn there. So, anyways, dude, do we do the introduction? Are we already past that?
We are already past that. But we can go
shit,
back,
dude.
We already went through the.
I thought we were gonna do one of those soundboards of E-Bomb's World.
Oh, bro. We could start this whenever. Hold on.
It's not E-Bomb's World. It's just like some random ass soundboard, right? Oh yeah. Yeah, that's our start every.
Welcome to episode 19.
Oh, I like that. The Riz.
Episode 19.
That's so funny.
Thank you for tuning in, for joining us. It's been
a week. It's been a whole week.
It's been a week, but it's been a wild ride. It's been a fun ride. It's been glorious.
Episode 19. That is basically one less than episode 20, which is
one more than episode 18.
4 less than 24, which is basically months. You know what I'm saying? That's
Kobe
months.
Bryant. Yeah.
So 20.
R.I.P.
I was like, where's this going? Like
Mamba mentality. That's what that means, man. Mamba mentality.
I think. You watch Dave Chappelle, right?
I do watch Dave Chappelle.
So when I think about like comedy, right, I think about like breaking barriers, right, making fun of things that pushes the edge of like where people are kind of like not comfortable of saying things or hearing things, right? And Dave Chappelle is really good. One of the things the jokes that he made that was so funny was like he tells a joke in the beginning, and then just goes off a tangent and talks about some random ass things, and then very at the end he like connects the joke.
Yeah. He like lays the pipe in the beginning and then he connects.
Yeah, and then you're like, holy crap, that's a lot of like groundwork to be working to massage this one joke. Yeah. And that one joke is fucking hilarious. You know? It's like, holy shit, like.
Well, you have to really nail the punchline, right? It's like it's
story building, like timing. Like I feel like being a comedian is not easy. Like it's not easy. Like being funny is not easy.
No, I don't think so. Not on command. Yeah, it's like I think it's.
And some people are generally just funny. Like some people are just like, we have some friends that are just funny. Like,
but I think that's also a different experience to do that in a comedy club, right? To be there, kind of like doing stand up. I think about like the comedians who are there practicing their set 10 times, 20 times, 30 times. You know, they're saying the same jokes to different people and saying like, hey, what works, what doesn't work, and kind of going from there. You know, it's like, I don't know. I think comedians being hard, but kudos to them. Did I tell you we went to this comedy show here nearby? It's called
Laugh Factory. I don't know.
No, it's improv. No. It was like Laugh on Demand or something like that. But it was kind of like a hidden show. It's like a secret show.
Was it inside the winery?
It was in one. And so yeah, the whole premise is like you pay for the ticket, but they don't tell you where the show.
I think I told you about that.
I don't know. It was on Instagram, but
I sent you the Instagram.
No, Ada bought it. I didn't buy it. So. But we went to it.
I remember this.
Maybe you sent it to me as well. But they essentially, you buy the ticket and then the day of, they text you the location of where to go.
Was this in Europa Village? Where was this?
No, we went to I can't remember the winery, but it was just a random winery. But the people that they invited were like the same TikTok folks that they have on Jerry's Dead or whatever that show is.
Okay.
So like LA comedians, good comedians. They weren't just like local Temecula.
Some guys are killers, dude, right off the bat.
Like dude, they're driving from LA out here to do shows, you know. But then I went and looked them up on TikTok and they did some of the exact jokes, right? It's like, again, they're testing what jokes land and what jokes don't. They test a few new ones.
Yeah, no, it's a lot of it's repetition, timing. A lot of it is like practice, being in front of people and practicing, getting booed and sharpening your skills. Like that stuff matters. Like same thing in like sales, bro. Like if you go like a whole month without pitching a customer, it happens. You just have a very like no one. You don't have any meetings. It doesn't happen to me, but it does happen. But it's very you gotta sharpen your blade, dude. Your first call after, you'd be so dull. You'd be like, oh shit, I forgot to like say something, like, because you're not talking, you're not sharp, like, so that kind of shit, like, that matters.
Yeah, like you say, it's like a blade that you have to sharpen. It's like it gets dull after a while if you don't actually use it or anything like that. But but to kind of stick to our normal trend, the business of the week and what we've been working on in the world of business. We now officially have BO Labs. BO Labs is live, technically. The website is still being built out, though you could still see it. We'll throw some URLs and links.
What's BO Labs, Oscar?
Well, BO Labs, what it is the umbrella company that would be what is and what shows our portfolio of AI wrapped companies that we've been working on. So what does that mean? So some of the companies that we've kind of explained throughout the past few weeks, Contract Guard, Better Will AI, Shipley Tech, things like that will all live under this BO Labs company. Why, you ask? You say, Oscar, why do you want to do this? Why don't you just have different companies? Well, you say, well, you know what? Everything was designed by the same people and it was designed the same way. And the whole point and the whole thesis and the premises of it is that we're able to solve problems by replicating a system and doing the same thing and delivering in quick, efficient ways. Very niche problems. We're not trying to solve, the world's biggest problem, but we're trying to attack small problems each individual time. And I think by chipping away at that, we could have a bigger impact long term, which BO Labs will be what encompasses that.
Right. And then again, it's problems that like we all face, maybe different parts of our life. But again, speaking of like this Will AI, right? Like the whole idea came from, I have a child, and I need to protect my child in case both me and my wife die. So what happens in an instance where me and my wife are both deceased? Well, in that instance, at least for the first couple of days, the system takes the child because you don't have a will, right? So if you had a will, then in the will, it says exactly what should happen. And then the person that's supposed to caretake is going to take that. But in the case of like, you don't have a will, the system takes the child until the court can decide who the right heir or the next of kin should be. So like that could be weeks sometimes, like delayed court systems. So you have to think about protecting assets, so protecting your most valuable thing, which is your child, right? Also, like think about like if you have older kids, like if you don't leave a will, it leaves a lot to interpretation in terms of what gets split up, right? You want to make sure, like if you want things to be 50-50, write it out to be 50-50, right? So it takes a lot of the ambiguity out of like what is going to be passed down, right? So the whole idea was based around that. We did some market research, and what we found was like it's a very underserved market, meaning that like you can go through a lawyer attorney and get it made for $500 to $700. You can go through LegalZoom that pays like $100 plus a month. And again, will is something that needs to be updated yearly at every life event. If you add assets, if you buy a house, all of these things have to be updated and so forth. So if you have another child, so the idea is making a low cost will that you can update and have it at a fraction of what the larger companies or lawyers are charging you. Mm-hmm. And it follows all the rules of what requires it to be a will. So have it notarized, having it authenticated through witnesses, and it's differentiated from state to state.
To be specific, it'll give you the recommendation. It doesn't do the notary, but it'll give you the
recommendation. Right. No, it prints out the form that you can go take to a notary and get it notarized. Mm-hmm. And then we can find notary services through our systems as well. So, but that aside, it is designed to help lower the cost and make sure everyone has a will at a very, very affordable cost. So
yeah, an essential thing for anybody who has assets, has anything. And again, maybe when you're 21 years old, it's not necessarily the thing you're thinking about, but
If you have a child
as you
and
get
don't have a
older,
will,
yeah.
you're fucking up.
Yeah.
So
When you have a child, that changes everything, right? But
because again, the thought of like again, there's if you and your wife could die, me and my wife go pick up our child every day at school, like we could shit like car accident, right? Like knock on wood, but like that stuff can happen. So like you want to make sure like you have something so the child is not ended up in like foster care for 2 weeks until they can figure out who the
next of kin is. And
even,
if it's not readily available,
even the next
like
of kin,
yeah.
right? Who takes it? Is it my parents? Is it her parents? Is it if you haven't defined it,
correct,
it's up to the court to decide.
Correct.
So you don't want that. So again, the whole point of the app is it's going to make it easier. It's going to be cheap. It's going to be affordable. It can keep you updated. And again, we have it, I would say 90% to 95% built out. And we'll hopefully launch at some point in August. The app is live, but again, it won't allow you to do anything unless you have like admin credentials and whatnot. So.
But again, this is one of 5, and we also want to be here to help others to create their ideas and bring them to life using AI and things like that. So if you are interested in building anything out, let us know. Leave a comment below, and we'll try to help you out and sync up with you.
What's Contract Guard?
Contract Guard is a real quick, just kind of elevator pitch. It's a way for small to medium-sized businesses, contractors, people who are individual creators, artists, things like that, to check and double check that the contracts that they're receiving and what they're signing is good and legit, or whatever the contract they're sending out protects them. I think a lot of people, like you mentioned, to see an attorney costs $700 at least. So if you're a small business, if you are an artist, a small contractor, you don't have that kind of readily available funds just to pay for that, right? So you're just downloading a template that's online and hoping and praying that is going to be the best. I think many times people keep that as they continue to scale, and that's where it begins to run into problems where then they get lawsuits, they get attacked because they're not covering their basis on every single side. So what this is hopefully doing is exposing and kind of giving you more insight into what could protect you, essentially.
Yeah, and again, after you get the recommendation, you can take that said recommendation and then make your trip to the attorney cost a lot less.
Yeah.
You go with set of questions. You're like, hey, I want to add these questions onto the document. Yes or no, and then they're not going to waste. They're not going to supercharge you. It's a very straightforward conversation you'll have from that point forward. So, and again, it doesn't just have to be like. It could be for again. This could be used for anything. Let's say procurement, right? Like you're buying some things. If you're a small business, you're a contractor. You're buying some stones from. Some stone manufacturer, and they send you their procurement contract, and you put that through the document checker, and it says, hey, there's some stuff in this contract that doesn't fly very well with me. Then you can have the conversation to get that amended with their attorney too, right? So it works both ways. So it just gives you a bit more insight in how the data is constructed and how we basically built kind of the back end logic to help out what's important in a contract and whatnot.
Yeah, I mean, one of the key things I'm working on right now, and some of the contracts are a little bit more complicated, and I think that's why I'm focusing on it, but it's like rental and lease agreements, specifically for renters, right? Because everybody, if you rent, you're signing a contract and agreement every single time. So how do you know you're not necessarily signing something to where the landlord could come into your house once a month if they want to, right? How do you make sure that you are protected as the renter to where you're not held liable for any of the damages that are,
I agree.
a part of the house? We assume and we think that they exist already inside of that contract. But again, the contract that they're sending you isn't built for you. It's built to protect the company that's renting it out or the landlord itself, right? So how do you protect yourself as the renter itself, So
there you go.
BO Lab, check it out. We're going to leave the links below. So if you're looking at us on YouTube, even if you are on Apple Podcasts or things like that, check out.
We're on all things, I think now, right? Yeah,
we're all things. We're catching up on the podcast a little bit as far as getting to episode 19, but it will be there soon. But ultimately, it's been fun building it out, man. I'll be honest. AI and building these tools and it
solves real problems. The renter thing is such a true thing. Because you're not gonna read through the fine print every single time, right?
I read through it, but even then, it's kind of like hard to even. There's things you miss, right? It's like you're not thinking of every single little thing. So this is just a quick and easy way to say, let's cover your bases. Let's
Right.
think. Let's think of the from A to Z, and so I don't even. I don't want to say or assume it's going to be like, man, this thing is going to take a super deep dive and make this contract the most unpenetrable thing. But it's going to give you at least kind of an A through Z check and kind of allow you to see, hey, think about this on a basic kind of on a basic level, right?
Yeah,
So,
and even for like someone that's getting a new job, for example, you get a new like offer letter, and you want to make sure everything's lined up to what your expectations are, or at least you're aware of what you're signing, right? Like you upload that into this. It's all secured, right? We built the entire database from like a security perspective to where like it's in different compartments, buckets in different places, right? Like so it's not as easy to get your information, but this basically allows you to check to see if you are basically signing what is in front of you. And sometimes there's issues, right? Sometimes I've had in the past where like the offer letter numbers didn't match what was initially discussed, and we had to go back, right? Like so like, but again, it could be small things you didn't know, like you didn't know there were like like paid phone plans, or like those are things that like you need to catch, and this will allow you to do that.
Or maybe they're saying in there that there's a non-compete for 2 years to where you can get a job in the same industry, right? There's things like that where, though that is becoming a little bit more legal as far as what that threshold of time. But again, things like that it will point out.
Again, it's not a legal app. It's an app that makes recommendations based on analysis.
Correct.
Right? Like, so get that very clear. The Will AI is not a legal app. It just brings the documentation that makes something a will. What is a will? It has certain check marks, right? You can write on a piece of paper in some states, have two people sign it, and it becomes a will. So like, but there's some things, you want to get it written. A lot of the laws have changed to where it has to be written. So again, we make sure that you are not those are kind of up to date, but it's not legal advice, right? Like, so.
Knowledge is power is essentially the point of it, right? So the more knowledge you have as a user, the more power you will have to then make better decisions, whether you decide to do that or whether you, like Babur said, you go to an attorney, but now you have a better basis to ask your questions, and you know what to ask and how to ask it, maybe, or where to be specific, instead of just saying, I have no idea what I'm doing and leaving it up to the attorney.
And I want to get this kind of cleared out, I guess, too, is like, if it is really that complicated, like if you have a $4 million state, don't use the app. Like, this is not for
go
you.
Directly to an attorney. Yeah.
Right. So what it is for the common man, woman, they do not have a trust. They do not have giant business interest S corp that's built out. They have a house, couple of cars, some heirlooms, some investment accounts, and it's simple. That's what it allows you to do. And there's some advanced features in here and there that you can have AI kind of like, you can tell AI what you're thinking, and it will write those in like a legal manner that is buttoned up, right? Like, so that's what it will do. But essentially, it'll make your life easier, and it's going to be cheap.
We design for the rule and not the exceptions, kind of thing. Yeah. So
right.
So I think it's gonna be great, But on the point, on the subject of security and kind of building apps with AI and things like that, why we mentioned security as kind of being a super important thing is I'm not sure if you heard about the T app. Have you heard about the T?
Yeah. So I mean, my couple of my personal opinions on anonymous apps are they're the worst things that could exist, and it brings the worst out in people. Right? We know Yik Yak. We went to school when Yik Yak came out, and for those people that don't know what Yik Yak is, you're lucky. So Yik Yak.
Are they lucky? Are they lucky, or are they missing out?
They're missing out, dude. Yeah. So a Yik Yak was basically a social app that is anonymous that's in your local area. So it would basically create a radius, and then anybody within that radius can chat with each other and on Yik Yak anonymously. And it was getting bad, dude. You can send like photos and things like that, and people were out there like just, it got to a point where the app was shut down. Same thing with this. So like this T app, what was happening, what the app is basically is it's a women's safe zone app where women can talk about other men, whatnot, experiences freely on there. So they're posting videos, photos, all this kind of stuff. And basically, this guy had built this entire application just vibe coding and not really thinking about like
The
security infrastructure. How do you hide data? How do you make sure like nothing is exposed on your front end? How is the back end secured? So without thinking any of that stuff, he basically built out the app and just set it and kind of forget it. And it had like 100,000 like downloads, and like it had active community of like 10, 20,000, something like that. And basically this hacker took out all the basic, hacked into this program and released the data information, which was photo ID and location for each of the women on the app.
Yeah, because they had to upload their driver's license or something like that. You have to kind of verify who they were.
But like, what kind of idiot like has you upload an ID and then not write a code to delete that ID once the verification is complete? Like that is like, what are you doing?
Well,
like,
see, that
same thing with like Social Security. Like what you shouldn't write code like that. Like,
yeah, well, you shouldn't be taking Social Security. I mean,
no, people. There are companies that take Social Security. You can take Social Security information safely on the internet. Like that, I'm not against that, but you have to make sure once the information is verified, you don't keep a copy and that copy is deleted. So that way, that information is not. Are you kidding me? Driver license? You literally have them upload a driver license and you kept it in a server? Like,
well, the worst thing is that it was public. And I think this is where the danger lies in like the vibe coding and these AI apps, is that if you're not, looking, it'll save some of those databases that you're creating, for instance, saving all of those IDs and put it into a public database, in which case anybody can then access it, right? If they're looking, they'll be able to see it. But if you don't know, so I mean, I guess this is where the interesting thing is. It's, we talk about AI and it being kind of a game changer, but there's still a need for you to understand code and engineering on the back end to kind of understand those basic principles and to be able to fix it, right? And understand it, right? Even ourselves, we could argue there are some limitations of what we're going to have to deal with because we don't truly understand the back end to the fullest, right? We can go in there ourselves into GitHub and code a whole feature. We just can't.
No, there's for sure. I mean, here's the thing, right? Like, security is only an issue until you get caught.
Yeah.
Right. So like, that's the thing. Like, again, as much as I sit here and say like this, I have had many, folks that have told me and said, hey, like, we don't have the budget. It's not that it's not important. It's, or like also turn the blind eye. It's if you look at the actual law, it's like you will not get fined if you are a CISO if you took a reasonable precaution. Right? That's the law is like, did you know about it and you didn't do anything? Or have you taken like measurable things to see and then you didn't find anything, but you took the reasonable approach? You won't get fucked for that. But if you know and you don't do anything, then you get fucked.
Well, sure, yeah, I mean that's negligence.
Right? But like, So what happens in a lot of these is like
jail for that. Yeah.
A lot of times when we do like what I sell is like they don't want to do it because then they'll get exposed. They rather not know.
Yeah.
And I get that conversation all the time.
Ignorance is bliss, and it's true.
And then as long as it's not like hurting business operations, then business as usual.
But
it's sad as it is. That's kind of how the world works, man. Like
it does protect them in the extent of like I guess general liability to like no one's going to go to jail, but they can still get sued for data loss and all that. Like and if they don't have the insurance, forget about it.
But they're banking on the fact that like it's not gonna happen to them. And if it does, usually it's not millions of dollars. It's usually like, like it's a ransom. They don't pay the ransom, and then like all shit like that happens. Like one of my last companies I worked for, they got ransom. Someone held them for ransom twice, like within 6 months. So it's like, and I don't know what happened. I don't know if they ended up paying or not, but like, like.
Jesse here on the live is saying something about that the rabbits on the AI trampoline. I don't know exactly what
What are rabbits on
We
AI?
were talking about the AI, and he was mentioning that there's something about AI rabbits on the trampoline, and if we got it, did that AI get you? And I'm not sure which one you're talking about, but I don't think it did, Jesse. I'm sorry.
The AI rabbit toy? Are you talking about like some like thing on Walmart, dude?
Is it AI? It's not real?
Oh, apparently, yeah, it looks real and it's not. It's a bunny. It has not got me yet, dude. I've actually not seen this. Maybe it did, and I'm just a fucking idiot.
Let's pull it up on the Google.
This
right
actually,
here.
my son would love this.
Is it AI or is it?
Yeah, it's just a rabbit that looks like AI. It's a realistic bunny. This is so cool. This is dope. For anyone wondering, it's a.
I don't think you can see it. What the heck, man?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's just a doll that looks real. So
Yeah, well,
it's fine. It's fine. Whatever.
but yeah, sorry, Jesse, that we didn't see it, but I don't know, man. This AI stuff is there's still moments that we have to kind of be aware of, and I don't know.
I think I don't know who I heard, but someone like prominent said AI is gonna make more people rich in the next 5 to 7 years than the internet boom did in the first 20. They said AI is going to make more people rich in the next 5 years than the internet boom did in the last 20. And I believe that. I believe like there is real good opportunity in AI just on the simple things. You're not even trying to build anything complex. I'm just talking about like simple chatbots on websites for people. Like you know what I mean? Like that's not that hard to build. But if I go to a plumber and I'm saying, hey, like you want a chatbot? Like there's a value in that. Like, hey, like when someone comes and hovers on your website, like they can constantly talk to your customers, take leads, write that down for you.
Yeah,
it's like a personal assistant.
You don't need an assistant. They can even take calls.
There you go.
Yeah, they can take it over the phone.
And then those aren't that hard to like set up. I feel like those are a couple of different programs. You run like an IT company, right? Like you build an IT company and you're like you buy white label a couple of products and you set it up for you're basically MSSP. Like that's literally what they do. Like
just specifically on like AI agents,
a reseller or like MSSP. They're basically building an AI servers infrastructure for small businesses, right? Super easy to do. It's like super easy to do.
My question is
super easy and scalable too. You can dominate the small business like market. No one's doing that yet.
My question is when are we going to see, and I think I saw this on LinkedIn or like an old colleague of mine posted it. It's like, and I think he was talking specifically about like AI wrappers and like these new kind of AI companies that are coming out, and they don't show. They talk about how good they are, but they don't show their output. They don't show like what they do. They only talk about like what they produce and how much they're saving, I guess. But I guess when are the measurements of, I guess, how much we can produce now, or how much it has grown? Because it's like, so because in theory, hold on, because in theory you would say, well, AI should be, if I'm getting 3 times more done now because of AI, then my output should technically be, well, somewhere at least a third of that, right? So, but there should be a gain of my overall output,
right?
And that should be across the board over everything, Where and when do you see that measurement of overall output actually being?
I think it's like, I think one important question for us to have a proper answer on when you start to see that is understanding that like right now there is so much pressure from executives, board members within companies to start implementing AI to reduce cost and increase output. There is a heavy demand in the market. I'm talking about if you start reading like 10Ks and these stock documents for companies, many of them say we're trying to use AI in some way to increase output, right? And when I say that is like IBM just released a document, I believe, and it said it had reduced its workforce by 4,000 employees, and these are all HR employees, and the production didn't go down. To replace it with AI, production didn't go down. It went up by 40%. AI did a better job.
I guess my question is then at that point, like, what's going to be the new? So my mind starts gearing, like the gears start turning. So I guess the output of the business is maybe 40% more. Let's say that's the data that they put on it, right?
I think it's 90. I think
whatever the
output
case
is going to be.
But let's say at the opportunity cost. What was the opportunity cost of it? Right? They had
humanity, bro.
That's they fired 40. They fired 40 people. 40 people are unemployed. 40 people are no longer producing. 40 people can no longer pay their rent. 40 people can no longer afford to do things. So it's like I guess like where does that equilibrium kind of then hit? Of like, well, I guess the output of businesses has grown 300%, but unemployment has gone up.
That's not the problem. But I think what people are missing also in this is like I think about this, and like this is not something that hasn't happened in the past, right? So we can start looking at like, let's say when at some
history
point
doesn't repeat itself, but it often rhymes, right?
Like think about this, like so if you think about like the industrial age, right? At some point in human history, we went from like basically doing a lot of like manual labor into using machines and assembly lines to produce, right? Like when the machines first got into a working environment, let's say to a factory, people probably lost their fucking minds, dude. We're gonna get like
everyone's losing their job.
Everyone's losing their job. And again, when the internet first came out, I'm pretty sure some people are like, people are gonna lose a lot of jobs, right? But like what people I think tend to forget is like the amount of creation it can also do.
Yeah.
Like you're oftentimes looking at the negative output of life, right? Think about this, and we go back into like the most the most primitive thinking in life, right? When you are the most primitive thing you are in your life is you think about only one thing: food. What am I gonna eat next?
Sure.
In the most primal state, right?
Mm-hmm. Survival.
It's only after you have food you start thinking about something else.
Sure.
It's only once you start having abundance of something, you start thinking about something greater, right?
Your basics are met. Yeah.
Then you start thinking about ideas. Oh, I can do this. I can do that.
You start thinking about your feelings. Yeah.
Same thing, right? With AI, like once we get to that critical mass, people are gonna have to start doing other things that are like providing value in a different manner that the AI cannot do, and that will happen. Like we're bound to get to that point. But one key thing, right, my boy Jesse, if you're still listening, I think you're doing like electrician training. I don't know. Like, I think he's doing electrician training. That is fucking the greatest thing you can do right now.
Get into that, yeah.
Because there's a massive shortage, and guess what we need to build AI? Electricity.
Speaking of,
there is so much demand, dude.
Speaking of electricians, you just got my mind. Have you seen this guy on TikTok called I think it's like Jay Rodriguez or something like that?
No, maybe. I mean, I see a lot of things, but
well, he's like an electrician, I think in like Long Beach or somewhere in LA and everything like that. But this dude is like on Fool's Gone Wild. He's like a new character on Law kind of thing. Yeah, it's like he's hilarious though. I'm a pool shooter, bro. Anytime we want to come shoot pool here in La Habra, dude, like just come here anytime. But the funniest guy on TikTok, yeah. But
send it to me.
We'll pull it up later, but. I don't know. That got my Jesse. If you're looking, go look up Jay Rodriguez. Yeah,
dude,
he's doing shout outs now on TikTok. He's like, if you show me $20, man, I'll say whatever you want.
I think the thing with TikTok is you just gotta get like if you get one video that gets over 10 million views, I wonder how much your account. Actually, that's probably not true because Brendan has a video that's like 13 million views.
Who?
Brendan
from college.
Brendan, the weirdo, dude.
Brendan from college?
Yeah.
Oops. 13 million views?
Yeah. It's like on a rave or some shit, like where he has like you know how people take like vapes to raves?
Yeah.
But he had like a gum or something, and he gives it to people, and people are like, and it's like it's fucking gum. But again, I guess if you have to have a video, I don't know. I don't know how people get fucking the accounts blow up. They just do.
How did you just go viral?
Because that one guy, like, just his account just blew up, like that dog life guy. Remember? He just
Dude,
made
no,
a-
this guy was shooting himself in front of like it was like a gentleman's bar. He's like, this place right here, bro, this is the best titty bar in all of LA, man. He's like, this guy, they don't show any of the bottom parts, but it's the best, bro. I'm like, and that's the one that got him famous, I guess. Yeah. It kind of reminds me of the guy who was going who was that? The
dog
yeah.
life.
Yeah,
He got like 80 million views. And
Yeah, and he's just some cholo, or no, he's not some, I think he's native actually, but
isn't like before like the Ronaldo and Messi broke the record for the most liked photo on Instagram? Wasn't it like a fucking potato or some shit?
yeah.
It was a potato,
It was like a golden egg or something like that.
an egg.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
it was an
yeah,
egg. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's wild, dude. That's a fucking egg.
I guess this is what makes me go back to that question, what you were saying. Like once technology has a certain point, people will inherently become creative and do that. But do you
Yes.
think there's also that society could kind of crumble and we all kind of become stupid and people just
Idiocracy.
yeah, kind of thing, or like people just don't even know how to be innovative, kind of thing. Like, and maybe I'm thinking of the U.S. specifically as an example. I don't think all of society would do that, because I think like what you say. There's still a lot of hunger. There's still a lot of
exactly.
needs
AI
not met.
cannot solve food. You know?
But I'm thinking specifically for the U.S. Just like how can it affect society here if we don't have that kind of like hunger anymore? It's like we're not going to be as
so I don't know
ingenious. I guess
if you have seen this or not, or have you heard about this? But there's a robot that's on sale for like $6,000 in China. It's a Chinese robot, and the robot can move. The robot is it's a humanoid, android.
It's like
Let me
does it jumping
see.
and all those things.
What was it called? Seymour. Let's
Seymour
see.
Butts. Is there a Seymour Butts here?
Where the fudge was I looking at this? Let's see. Chinese humanoid robot. They already knew, dude. Yeah, dude. It can like fight and shit.
Oh yeah.
Dude, it's over. Like, and if people say like a plumber's job's safe. I don't know.
You just said right now. You literally
No,
just
I
said right
said
now
that.
that is the
No,
best time.
No, for the next 10 years until the AI nonsense is stopped.
When people say you just said that.
No. In the long run, we're all cooked.
Yeah,
I'm trying to get to is like long time. I'm saying like the next 20 years, we're cooked.
So what you're saying is like you got to study like engineering how to build these robots.
No. It's the robot is going to build the robot.
Learn how to fix the robot. Learn how to fix a robot.
It's not. It's nothing. There is literally nothing you can do that a robot, an AI machine cannot do. There will come a point in time, like GPT-7, GPT-8, dude. What does GPT-13 look like? It's over. Like,
what can we do that AI cannot do?
Nothing. Make babies, dude. Like honestly, like there isn't going to be anything the AI is going to be able to not do that we can do in the future. Like I'm talking about like 20 years, right? Because you saw this fighting robot. Look, it bought groceries, bro. Like,
look at that one, dude. That one's doing like breakdance.
Yeah, this is $4,000, dude. It can fold up into a box so you can take it places.
What? Yeah, that's like iRobot.
Look at that.
Nervous. Wow. It's actually pretty interesting. Yeah. Well, it defends itself. See, that's scary.
No, but that's all to show you how nimble it can get. Right? It mirrors humans. Like it has a mirror mode. But you can, again, like if it can do like this type of movement, everything else is programming. That's what you gotta understand. Like if you have physical limbs, everything else, or physical arms that can move, everything else becomes programming.
To a certain point, yeah, I guess.
Just move this, move this, right? It just becomes a simple fucking programming.
Well, it's math. Yeah, it's math.
So this is San Francisco.
Yeah, it is.
$16,000, dude. This humanoid robot. But how far are we from this? Like we're here. This is here.
Dude, that's terrible.
But so like think about this. So now you tell me, like, right, like what isn't cooked? Like that eventually in the future is going to be able to do what doctors can't do. It's just kind of like
I guess the only way you could beat it is really just kind of being like the poorest country. I guess, yeah, it's like that. Your labor is still cheaper.
No, even labor is going to go away. What are you now saying? They're going to put factories.
Well, but like, because I don't think that because like robots can already put cars together today. Robots already exist, but the cost of labor is still that much cheaper to where it doesn't make sense. So far. Yeah.
It's because I think there's finite resources on Earth to make endless amount of these, but
Mars.
Again, we're not that far out. Guess who can go to Mars? We can't go, but guess who can go? You know what I'm saying?
Humanoid robot.
The humanoid robot can go and like start building there. What if you send 50 robots?
Elon, there you go.
Like you send 50 robots.
Well, that's why they're making. That's why they're making the robot. That's why Tesla's making the robot.
They send 50 robots, 60 robots. They send hundreds and hundreds of robots to Mars just to fucking work.
Well, just to build it out. They can build it, and then 24 hours a day. Yeah.
I guess you send thousands.
Yeah. Even if one breaks.
Let's say you said tens of. No. Yeah. You send robots to fix those broken robots. Ask her, because dude, it doesn't end. It doesn't end. Yeah. Like it's a never-ending thing. All you have to send those robots there with some tools, and they'll start fucking mining iron. Start like, building a dome. Start planting. Figuring out a way to make water. Dig, and just in 10 years they can build a city, dude. 10,000 robots can build a city.
What's that effect called when we all think that something exists, but it doesn't actually exist?
The Mandela effect?
Mandela effect? Yeah. We should all download like a hard copy of The Terminator, just so we can remember how to destroy the machine at the end of the day, because they're going to do like a Mandela effect. They'll just watch in 10 years and say The Terminator. That wasn't a movie. The Terminator was.
It is, dude. I'm telling you, it's that thing. It's going to be like, Mandela effect. Because no, I don't think
it's like Shazam and that movie with the genie. Not Shazam, but
yeah. I mean, I don't know.
Sinbad.
Yeah.
Have you seen that? Have you heard about that?
Sinbad? It's not Shazam, it's Sinbad.
I know, but there's a movie with Sinbad as a genie.
Correct.
Yeah, and they say that doesn't exist.
That's real. It's a movie.
Yeah, but they say that doesn't exist.
Why? I've seen the movie.
I've seen the movie, but there's a Mandela effect.
It's also about like the fruit of the loins or whatever, too, right? They said there was like a conch cell on the fruit of the loin, like fruit of the loin or whatever.
What did I just say?
The movie Shazam. Sinbad.
Sinbad, that was his name.
Who was a character? Sinbad? I guess I was just wrong, dude.
No, bro. This I literally watched. I had it almost on.
You think it's like they're trying to fuck with us?
That's what I'm saying, dude. Yeah. Just watch in 10 years. This is what AI is going to do about Terminator. So we forget how to kill the machine. Just saying, you heard it here first, man. You heard it here first. Episode 19 of Bob.
It's about like spill
of Bob podcast. And it's empty.
Dang, dude. So we have 50 followers on YouTube.
See Shazam. It was called Shazam.
Yeah, dude. People should go follow our pages on YouTube, Instagram, all the stuff, dude. So this never existed. I feel like I saw this. I'm not gonna lie to you. I know I've seen
this movie.
So this guy never did this scene. So how did these pictures exist if he was never in? Because the shack is the
this one they found it. Yeah. But there's a whole thing that
I guess
he didn't do
fucking
idiot. Yeah, dude. Because Kazam was the shack one.
Yeah,
but dude, I remember seeing Sinbad as a genie.
It was Kazam.
Kazam was the one with Shaq.
Sounds fucking racist, dude.
Kazam. Well, Shazam. I'm not sure which one's worse.
That's funny,
dude. I could swear I have this. Maybe they remade it with Shaq and they try to wipe it.
Yeah,
I don't know. But in any case, Mandela.
So that guy just never he never admits it because that's a real person too, right? He's been in other movies.
Yeah.
What is AI mode? Oh shit! I knew this was coming. Well, OpenAI is making a search engine. Google is like fucking dude. Meta. I wonder what is Meta doing? What's your thought on that?
Oh, you know what I've been listening to? You're kind of talking Alexander Wang.
Alexander, who's that guy? I feel like I've heard that name.
He's a new guy that they're paying like a crap.
Alexander Wang. Yeah, okay, yeah.
And
Smart
the kid,
fucking guy, dude.
Yeah, well,
young kid, right? Like not that old.
Super young kid. He went to MIT.
Yeah.
But he like, I'll be honest, man. It feels like I'm talking. It sounds like I'm talking to like Chris Din. You know what I mean?
Someone denied $1 billion offer.
They did.
This lady.
Nothing wrong with Chris Din, but like I'm just saying, it feels like I'm talking to the homie. You know what I mean? It doesn't seem like I'm talking to Mark.
Dude, like I said,
Mark Zuckerberg was like, you could tell he's like a cyborg. This guy just
there is so much money to be made from AI right now. If like people talk about this shit all the time, if you missed the internet in the 2000s, if you missed, YouTube in the early 2010s, if you missed like drop shipping in the mid 2010s, if you missed fucking Shopify in the early 2020s, missed TikTok in the 21, 22, 23. This is it. The next 10 years, next 5 to 7 years, there is so much fucking money in AI companies, AI jobs, AI products you can build out, helping small businesses with AI, like AI marketing. Anything you think you can do. Like that's the thing.
No, I think this time around, I think this game is opened up to the entire world. Well, I think the .com boom was kind of here in the US kind of thing. It was like,
and you have to have the know-how
for sure. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Now I feel like it's almost to a point where it's like it's more creative. It allows you to do it yourself. If you just have to be somewhat of a logical person in how you go about doing tasks,
understand basic principles. If you don't just Google basic principle, but it's just like think about how like you would use it, and that's basic principles, right? How does it a normal human being kind of view or act with something?
Yeah,
that's it. Like it really doesn't take a rocket scientist to kind of build on on top of that. You know what I mean? It's like
you just gotta have an idea. And again, there are complex things, and somebody will make these complex things and make a lot of money.
Yeah,
I don't want to like discredit that. So there's gonna be some people that make a lot of money, meaning like billions of dollars. Right.
Well, that's what's happening with Meta and the people.
OpenAI. But what I'm saying is like there is what I'm thinking. What I read this morning was last year the market for wrapped GPT products were $1 billion.
Last
year. This year it's 28. It's expected to go into the hundreds of billions in the next like few years, and to like like $1 trillion businesses. That's what I'm saying. Like what is few millions, $10 million to Bob and Oscar? Like that's not too unrealistic of a fucking goal. Because let me give you a simple like I kind of like run through of this, right? We make 5 or 6 apps. Each of these 5 or 6 apps have a certain X amount of users, and we have a revenue stream of like, let's say 50K, 100K a year. You know what happens in that place, right? You raise money.
Yeah.
You fucking raise money. You raise money not on a particular app. You raise money on the idea of the BO Labs of like, hey, my idea is I want to build more things like this. Not to say I want to sell each of these products separately. The idea is you're raising money as BO Labs to build out more applications. And I see these all the time. These are companies, and I've seen hundreds of these companies that almost work for one. Basically, they raise shit ton of money, and their job is to buy businesses on Amazon. So they would just buy Amazon businesses that are making money, and they would just make a portfolio of almost recurring business. Mm-hmm. And they raise 100 million off nothing. But if we have products that have revenue tied and user base under an umbrella company, it makes it a lot easier from the mathematics to raise money.
At that point, if we raise money, then we could even just acquire these people. We could acquire people who are building these AI wrappers.
Yeah. No, that's like, again, long-term picture, right? Yeah. But like the goal is to have like so many of these that, because all the revenue will flow into BO Labs, and the BO Labs raises the money through these different products, right? Mm-hmm. So almost like
And the numbers will be higher.
It shields like the underperforming apps.
Sure. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Where one may only have one, but the other one has 10,000. Well, the average for all 5 is now 8,
and then it makes it look like, oh, they have 5 applications. Guess what? It shows like, hey, these guys can build applications. Dude, I feel like we're on to something. This, like, you know, you want to make generational fucking wealth, like it's done through venture capital, dude. For sure. Straight up, dog.
The next thing, like, I guess speaking out loud, I guess the only hesitation or the only thing that I'm kind of like thinking is like, if we're there pitching these ideas and they ask us like a technical question, essentially like a CTO is there and they say, well, how do
we get one, dude?
Well,
stop.
But like, I guess that's my only concern, really. Just kind of answering those questions.
No, I have one.
Well, then that's really the only.
I can get a technical person, super technical.
Well, I mean, who?
My fucking brother, dude. Like,
okay.
He's he built out an entire AI system for his work.
For the work and for the office.
So it's an entire repository.
Yeah.
For
they still work for the telecom company.
Yes, out of Colorado. Yeah. So he can do all of the technical stuff.
Yeah. Well, again, it's just I think it's more so when you're having that conversation.
If we are at that place, if we get to that level, that's not what we're worried about.
That's my concern.
No.
That's,
at that point, like we'll get somebody. At that point, we will have to be like, hey, you know, we're gonna give you 10% of the company, and you come in as our CTO to help this build. We have to find somebody that's willing to help us build this out. It can't just be like someone we hire. Someone has to be buy into the vision of this is what we're trying to accomplish.
Sure. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And at that point, I feel like that's not that hard to do. This idea is not that hard to sell, especially if we like get success with like some of the stuff. Yeah.
I agree. You're right. Actually, I mean, really, you could have the conversation, and they could tell you just find a CTO.
Right. And even in like go to market like strategy, like it's like, you know, we're gonna have to like figure out a way to successfully get these to market, right? Like find the people to promote the products like for us, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Like that goes a long way, you know, like maybe like someone like what I think of is like mom, like a family influencer. Like you find a family influencer and you say, hey, we'll give you X% of this company, but you are the face that's going to promote the product for us.
That's what like a lot of companies do that with like celebrities mainly, where they give them like a cut.
But like you target like influencers,
so you could give them like it's like a micro kind of because like a lot of like the bigger ones, like what are these ones that I'm thinking about? Like a lot of like health and beauty, like the lap band, or Oprah used to do the Weight
like
Watchers.
Alex Earl, I think, or Alex Earl. I don't think the girl that she was the spokesperson for Olipop or like Poppy or one of those
something like that. Yeah, where they get like 30% of the company essentially. Yeah,
right.
But they're celebrities. They bring a lot more value in and themselves. An influencer, maybe we could do a different program. But yeah. I mean, there's a lot of room to grow and kind of bring it to market. But I think first things first, we gotta launch everything and get it there. And
yeah, I mean, again,
we just need to get users. Without users, we have nothing.
Yeah. And again, getting users is not that hard. I think we'll make it free. The cost to us is like, you know, we'll make it $2.
I feel like it's tough.
Huh?
I feel like it's tough. But let's do it, man. I'm not gonna yuck any yum. I wanna try to make this happen, man. I feel like we could do it.
Yeah, and we'll promote through TikTok, bro. We'll promote through like other avenues. There are different things. There are cheap things you can do, but like I'm talking, you got to talk about like scale, right? Like even like rent, like I think the rental one, right? Like where you can analyze rent leases. I think that's clutch. One time use $2.99. You know what I'm saying? Like you can analyze a contract for $2.99. Simple. Like before you sign, that's not that hard to like
pitch that.
Yeah, I mean, even like
I mean, we could even go from a different. I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of again, users is the key, because at that point we even have data, we have leases. If we want, we could even keep that data. We could keep those contracts, and then again, you have 1,000 different. Like, that's data. That's information.
What's kind of funny is like if you get like ton of users that use Will AI, those basically become the most optimal insurance leads.
There you go. You know,
right? Like, because
well, so that's what
if you make a will, what's the next thing you should do? It's probably should get an insurance policy.
Yeah, you need life insurance. Yeah, you need to make sure that that kid has money. That's what it sounds like.
That's a pool funnel, like a separate kind of.
Well, that's not, yeah. I mean, but I think the way we have to look at this also is maybe not so much kind of like the initial.
Increase the user base. Let's not talk monetization. Shouldn't be the goal. No. I think
the goal is just creating as many apps and getting as many users using it. Period. Right. You know, it's like the money will come afterwards, and we'll figure out how to charge it, scale it, or I mean, fuck, dude. If we have enough users, we could just sell everything for a good chunk of money, and then we'll go build something else. You know what I mean? But I think users is going to, once we have the users, then we can then turn anything on, and they're already hooked. You know what I mean? It's like, but the users are going to be the key. The users and the data. So we have to have a plan for what data we want to capture and how we want to store it. I don't think the idea of just saying let's not do any data is going to be a good.
We may not do any data.
Of like saving anything or keeping anything, you know, just for like storage purposes or things like
but
that.
You know, there are certain like PPI like rules that you must adhere to, and one of those rules is like data like protection, right? So like
for sure,
you know, it's like making sure that you have protocols set to like where you're not saving high, you know, like crucial information, like social security and date of birth should never be saved in the same file, right? Like I feel like you should write like certain like things where those information are like set in a different buckets.
But you could have that information.
You could have that information. Yeah.
I mean, I don't need their social security, but like, I mean, but like, I mean, again, like the contract terms or things like, you know, contracts and things like that, what they're writing in the will, what, you know, all that stuff.
You know,
is data,
also what's
you know?
kind of cool is like, now I don't know if you've thought about this, but like for this contract guard, right? The more contract that you have in your database, you can also start to see what kind of contracts are good and bad.
Yeah.
Right.
You could teach.
You can start seeing. You can start teaching the model to be better.
Correct.
Essentially, with each contract.
That's why the data is so key. That's why data, especially with AI, like this whole gameplay is data for the sake of teaching the LLM.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
yeah, I mean, I agree. I think it would be really cool to. Honestly, like I think like the selling of the app idea is not that hard. Like shit, like I said, I think if we really want to like be competitive, shit, and you know we have it right now set up at like $39.99 and $69.99. We do $10.99. You know what I'm saying? Like we can do $20 and $10. No one is out there offering a $20 fucking legit wills. Doesn't exist. So. And then we just blast the shit out of like we can marketing, you know what I'm saying? Like you can pump money into marketing.
That's what it is. Marketing is a whole different beast, but yeah.
Like then at the end of it comes down to like customer acquisition cost. Yeah. But I think it's better to go through channels to grow versus like doing a full marketing campaign, right? You gotta like get people to have connections bought into the idea.
Yeah.
And then they somehow have to be involved. Like, and if you can get those people involved, because like if you can get a life insurance person, someone that sells life insurance, bought into this idea, and he has a client book of business of like say 300 customers, he's like, hey, like, you know, let's say not all 300 sign up, but 150 do.
Who do we know that sells life insurance?
I don't fucking know, but again, it's that part is not that hard to like.
Lewis doesn't sell life insurance.
I don't know. No, maybe he does, but again, that part is not that hard. Like it's, I think going and saying, "Hey, like I have built this out. I am looking for someone to, you know, basically get this product exposed. In return, you know, we'll work out some sort of a structure that makes sense financially." I don't know.
Mm-hmm. It's a whole other market that maybe they're not targeting, right? They're targeting people who have X amount of dollars in their bank and that need to have that. But this could open up a whole other market of people who are maybe under that threshold that they have right now that combined could double their business.
No, I think
double
like
their books,
also
triple
like
their books.
getting it as soon as someone has a kid, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I think as soon as you have a kid, regardless if you have assets or not, you should have a will.
Mm-hmm.
So figuring out like, you know, kind of like people. Okay, it's probably, I don't know how deep you want to get in this, but registry information is public information. So if you can go online and you can create a scraper that scrapes like all these baby registries, and then you can target these people that are just had a child with some sort of emotional messaging or even like targeted ads to where they're like, hey, you should build a will. And you can play around with like the landing page idea. And that information is not that hard to find. Again, you can hire somebody to clean out the fucking internet every month for registry and find their email addresses and just email them.
To do web scraper. I mean, AI could do web scraping now. I did that.
So again, what I'm saying is like, there's a huge market, and no one is like, there's a huge market, there's a huge need, and there's not any low cost option. All the options are like high cost. I mean, I'm sure like there's some options out there that they'll let you make it for free, but then it won't let you add certain covenants. You know, it's like a basic structure. Like,
yeah.
So and then the wills they have to be like somewhat like malleable to like what you're trying to do, right?
For sure, yeah. You know, sometimes people sometimes go directly to ChatGPT, but you know, I think there's people still look for those niche specific things that they're looking for.
Even
you know
like so, even like I try to even when you go and try to do it on ChatGPT, it doesn't give you the answer straight up.
Yeah,
you have to like
you have to
ask it like 6-7 times.
You have to know how to ask the prompt.
You have to ask the right question, and you want to make sure that like what you have printed is correct.
Yeah,
right. Like, how do you write something that sounds, yo, bro, give me that, versus thou shall pass that mug to me?
Kind of like the legalese and everything like that.
There's a certain finesse, I guess, that is required when you write a legal phrase, right?
Where the better will's already kind of it's designed.
The model is designed to answer those things, right? So
yeah. Well,
there you have it, dude.
I mean, I think it's BO Labs. Check it out. Check it out here. Come here. So we've already been chatting for an hour, so I think we're going to cut it right now. But join us next week. Today was very AI centric, very BO Labs centric. But join us next week.
We're going to be talking about BO Labs every week. Every week. That's free exposure.
There you go. You'll see the links below.
If you need life insurance. No, we don't do life insurance. That's the problem. But if you need a will, we got you. You want your contract read? Yeah. We got you.
You want to make sure that contract is foolproof, bulletproof before you sell yourself?
I thought of this idea.
Before you sign anything?
You know how I was thinking of that, the recipe book, right?
Yeah.
And I told Seda, I was like, hey, like, it's a good idea, right? She was like, oh, it's a great idea. They fucking exist. Exist. Yeah. And I was even thinking of like, oh, like it'd be so cool, like if like a lot of recipes are on like TikTok videos and YouTube and shit. Like, imagine you could just extract that information and have it on a nice like
PDF like document. Yeah.
Right. I was like, that's genius, and I can make that. That's like a very easy like thing I could do.
Already exists.
Fucking exists, dude. And I was like, oh, I'm late to the game. But then that GitHub for recipes, it's good, but it's like
super niche.
It's super niche because I don't think like
people don't
regular chefs understand what forking is. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I even asked you that. I'm like, well, I get the double entendre of kind of like you use a fork in cooking and forking in
no, but the idea, but you understood the idea I was getting at forking, right?
I understood it, but I felt like this is a super niche thing. You know, you have to be like into coding or like tech, and then also like cooking. You know what I mean? It's like
no, but again, the idea you can change the name to forking something else, but like forking is just essentially just cloning it and editing the recipe.
Yeah.
But which is not what is not bad is like
forking could still work but you just got to sell it like it's a fork. You know what I mean? It's like
there's a marketplace. Like I think a marketplace for cookbooks is not a bad idea. Like marketplace for recipes. I don't know, dude. I don't know. I look up shit all the time.
A lot of things are hidden behind paywalls on like New York Times or like other things like that. So it could, I mean, I
want to make things cheap. I want things that like right now are very manual or cost a lot of money that I can do fast with AI. and built hundreds of these. That's it. That's the fucking goal.
That's the strategy. What's a high cost thing that we could now do with AI at a lower cost? Yeah. But all right. Well, join us next week. Join us next time. You'll see us with more applications and more things coming out, more explanations. But check us out on YouTube. Check us out on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Check out the description with the links below. That way, you all could see what we're talking about and everything in action. So,
deuce.
Love you guys. Arrivederci.
I think I had told Sadie this idea, and she said it's